Welcome back to Peak Performance Guitar's Beginner Lead Guitar Course. I am Dean Kay. This is lesson 6, maybe 7, I forget already. Today we're going to learn the pull-off, and this is a great technique that you use often in conjunction with the hammer-on. It's used often. It's used very often all by itself. Fantastic technique. You're going to love it. It is exactly the opposite of a hammer-on. So with the hammer-on, yesterday we learned we start with the open note and we hammer on to the next note, to that G note there. This time we're going to start picking the G note and we're going to pull off to the open note. So what you need to do is you kind of get a pluck. You kind of have to pluck the string with your finger as you pull it off. You can't just lift it straight off because then the note stops. You hear that? Just lift it straight off and it stops playing. But if you got to get a little pluck in there. All right. And this takes significantly less strength than the hammer-on, obviously, but just a little pluck. It's all you need. And this is what you're going to use this for a lot is for legato playing, where you're trying to kind of slur the notes a little bit. Legato playing is you pick seldom, right? But you're doing multiple notes from just one pick, and it's real simple. It's a real easy move. Let's go to string number 2. We're going to use our third finger again on that D note. We're going to pick it, and then we're going to pull off. And the trick with this is being able to pull off without hitting the other strings, right? So when you're starting, what you want to do is this little cheat here. I'm taking these 2 fingers, and you really only need one, but I'm taking these 2 fingers and I'm resting them on the E string. So when I pick the second string and do the pull off, even if I hit the E string as I'm pulling off, it doesn't ring. So that's a little cheat that you can use there, and you'll learn a lot of those as you're going on. Okay? All right, now we're going to use our second finger on the third string. We're going to pick that A note and pull off to the G. And again, now I'm using my third finger on the second string to keep it quiet, so that when I pull off, if I hit that string, it doesn't ring with it. Okay? So now we're gonna take the hammer-on exercise that we did yesterday. We're gonna reverse that. Now we're gonna do pull-off exercise. So we're gonna start with finger 1 on fret 1, finger 2 on fret 2, finger 3 on fret 3, finger 4 on fret 4, and now we're gonna pick and pull off. Pick and pull off. Go to fret 2 with finger 2, do the same thing. Finger 3 on fret 3. Finger 4 on fret 4. And what we're looking for here is we don't want to use a whole lot of strength, we just want to get the string to ring as we're doing the pull-off. Now, you might find yourself, there's a significant number of students find themselves, as they're trying to get this to work and they haven't quite got it yet, they end up picking really hard with this hand. And it's understandable, I get it, but that doesn't help, and it hurts. And in fact, I mean, it's easy to break a string that way. You don't have to pick very hard. Again, light picking with the right hand, because what we want is the pull-off technique developed with our fretting hand, right? And we want this with each finger. And again, the first 2 weeks, stick with the first 3 strings. And as you move on, and your hand strengthens and you get, I had to concentrate there. See, I'm only on the third string, and already I'm having to use a lot more strength with my pinky. Now, because I just haven't practiced very much lately with my pinky. Now we're going to go to the thicker strings, and again, about 2 weeks before you do this. And why do we want to be able to do this with our third on the lower strings? Why do we want to be able to do hammer-ons and pull-offs on the lower strings? Well, how about this? Right? Or maybe you're familiar with that 70s show, right? So those aren't actually pull-offs. Probably shouldn't have put that in there. Oh well, it's in there now. All right, so you're going to come across hundreds and hundreds of songs where you're going to be doing hammer-ons and pull-offs on the lower strings. So after a couple weeks of practicing on the thinner strings, on strings 1 through 3, start to practice on strings 4 through 5. Takes a little bit more hand strength, takes a little bit better technique, and so that's why you want to wait until you've practiced a little bit to go to those strings. Next lesson, we're going to learn how to put hammer-ons and pull-offs together. This is going to be really cool. You're going to enjoy it. From this point forward, we start putting all these things together to actually play lead guitar and make music. So, that's what it's all about, right? It's about having fun and making music. So practice this, get it down, enjoy the next lesson. Thank you for joining me. I am Dean K. This is the Peak Performance Guitar Channel's Beginner Lead Guitar series. Until I see you next time, have fun and make music.